What is going on, guys? My name is 4G. So today I wanted to make a video going over the idea of, will a game ever be anywhere near as popular as Fortnite was in 2018? Actually, I mean, Fortnite is still very popular to this day, but we all remember what it was like in 2018 if you were around. Even if you weren't around playing the game and you just remember how it was, people were talking about this game a lot. Like, for an example, Among Us was kind of like that to an extent, not that much, but it was kind of like that in 2020. I never really played it that much, but I remember hearing a lot of people talking about it, friends talking about it. It was all over social media, you know, memes all over the place. That's the same thing, but on a smaller scale. But if you look at Fortnite, man, Fortnite was absolutely thriving. It was massive. It was a massive juggernaut in the gaming industry. And I'm gonna go over the reasons why. Also, I want to talk about that, why I think it absolutely popped off in comparison to any other game. But real quick, let's just jump right into 2017. Let's go back to 2017 for a second, okay? This is not when Fortnite was absolutely thriving just yet, but people don't really realize that it was still very popular. It was, okay? It was not as popular maybe, but it was pretty popular. There was already over 1 million players who have purchased Save the World before Battle Royale even released, as far as I remember. It was something around that, and I remember back then, even big content creators were sponsored to play the game. I mean, for example, Vanoss Gaming, that was someone who was sponsored, I remember that, and if you used his referral link, you would get access to this exclusive Vanoss banner, which is actually insanely rare to this day, and there's 1 million of these YouTuber banners, and they're all incredibly rare, because you can only get one of them, because you had to purchase the game with their referral link, which is absolutely insane to think about. But anyways, going back to 2017, it was still very popular. That's when Ninja started playing the game, for example. A lot of people were playing the game. It was a very fun, exciting game. It was free to play on PlayStation. It was like the first Battle Royale game on PlayStation. It was also free on Xbox, but you still had to have Xbox Gold. And of course, PC, but PC already had H1Z1 and PUBG at that time. But either way, the Battle Royale experience was pretty new to a lot of people. But going forward to 2018, this is when it really started to thrive. Let's skip Season 2 after they already did the map update, but let's go to Season 3. Season 3 is when it really started to pop off. The fact that the Battle Pass was increased from 70 tiers to 100. We got brand new weekly challenges. So it actually had a lot of content pretty much at this time. It wasn't just how it was in Season 2, where it still felt really early access at that time, where you had to complete daily quests and that was it. You had to play daily if you wanted to complete the Battle Pass. Every single day you had to complete all your dailies pretty much if you wanted to be able to get to tier 70 and get that Black Knight skin. There was no tier 100 either, so you got less rewards for that. So yeah, Season 3 absolutely popped off. But Season 3 was also the time when Ninja and Drake played, okay? So that was pretty big right there because it kind of opened up the idea to more casual people who wouldn't normally play video games, potentially, I don't know, I'm just theorizing, who they see Drake playing Fortnite, you know, that makes it okay, at least in 2018. I don't know about nowadays if that would work, but, you know, that makes it okay to play Fortnite because they're seeing Drake play it. You know, anyways, don't live by that rule. Don't live by that rule, by the way. But anyways, the point was Ninja had about 600,000 people when he was streaming with Drake back in, I believe, April of 2018, and that was a very big time. So Season 3 was popping off. And not only that, they were adding a bunch of weekly updates to this game. Every single week, the game was getting something new. This was unheard of for any other game, if we're being completely real. I don't think there's really any other game from what I remember that was doing things like that. They barely do that nowadays, let alone then when paid map packs were still a big thing when it comes to games like, I don't know, Call of Duty, for example. They got rid of map packs because of Fortnite. Fortnite was massive, okay? I gotta stop using that word. But not only that, all right? Not only all that stuff that I mentioned as to why I think Fortnite really popped off, but also the fact that crossplay was a pretty big and absolutely brand new thing at that time. Now, it wasn't perfect in this moment in Season 3. It still had limitations. For example, you couldn't play with PlayStation if you played on Xbox and vice versa. I even remember when they released the Switch version, which we'll get to that in a second, but when they released the Switch version, that was horrible. I could not even play the game on the Switch because I had logged into a PlayStation before. What? Like, what is the, what? Huh? That was the dumbest thing ever. Thanks, Sony, but eventually they caved in, finally, thankfully, because gaming in general is better because of it. I can't imagine not having true crossplay, like, especially between the different consoles. That's definitely, like, you can make your case about, you know, PC and console not being able to play together. I mean, I disagree with that. I think everyone should be able to, at least for casual modes, maybe not ranked or something like that, depending on the game, but definitely when it comes to the consoles, because I remember back in the day having to buy a specific console just to play with your friends that were on that console too, even if you didn't want that console. Like, it just wasn't great, all right? And then you had to have both if you wanted the other one for a different reason, and that doesn't really work, you know? So I'm glad we're at this point in time, and it is, in fact, because of Fortnite. Now, yes, Minecraft and I believe other games did have that at the time, but it wasn't still as popular as it was after Fortnite did it, for being completely real. Then on top of that, like I said, the Switch version came out, and specifically even more, the iOS version, which people who play on console, play on PC, you know, you laugh at mobile players, but man, that is a giant demographic of players. I still to this day day cannot believe they just deleted it from the App Store. Or like they did what they did in order to get it deleted from the App Store, because I don't know much about when it comes to the Epic thing, but man, I have a strong suspicion they lost more than they would have gained within the almost 5 years now that the iOS version of Fortnite has been gone. You can only get it now if you're in the EU or do some stuff, get your phone signed by a developer account or something. Not doing that to play Fortnite if I'm being completely real. But either way, at that time, a lot of people were playing for the very first time because of that. And not only that, this was the full console version of the game, and you could play with people who were playing on console or PC. It was awesome. This was the full game. This wasn't some mobile version of the game. This was Fortnite, other than Save the World. That was entirely missing, unfortunately. But still, this was Fortnite. I cannot imagine phones from that time running Save the World, though, now that I really think about it. But going back to the title of this video, do I think another game will, in fact, surpass Fortnite or even just be on the same level of its popularity? I do think eventually it will happen, unless counting GTA 6, then it will 100% happen. That game is going to absolutely pop off. It is going to be bigger than Fortnite, if we're being completely real. Well, maybe not, but it'll be on par at least. I think it'll be bigger. I think it'll be bigger. Basically, what I'm trying to say is if a game is on the news, if it has reached the people who have no idea about video games, and yet now they're reporting on it because it's somehow reached their attention because it's that big of a game, that's how you know the game is massive, okay? Minecraft, I've seen news reports on that. GTA, a lot of those. I'm sure we'll see a lot of those when it comes to GTA 6. People talking about violence again. That'll happen, I'm sure. Blaming the video games, but, you know, whatever. And then, of course, we have Fortnite, which I remember seeing a lot about. I even heard some of my teachers talking about it at that time. I don't know about you, but hearing a teacher talk about any video game, let alone a game like Fortnite, is kind of crazy to me, you know? So that just doesn't happen very often. So Fortnite is insanely popular. It still is to this day. It's averaging around 2 million players at this time. It did decline for a while there in Chapter 4, but then, of course, as they had the live service stuff happening, as they brought Fortnite Reload, now Fortnite OG, they have really brought the player base back up, which I'm glad to see. I don't want to see this game die out. Now, 800,000 players back in Chapter 4 is still an insane amount of people, okay? I'm sure there's many games that would love that kind of player count, but I'm just saying, in comparison, you know, comparison is the thief of joy, but, you know, in comparison to what Fortnite used to be, it is a massive decline. But anyways, I do think if we're talking about just a regular game that we have no idea about just yet, I do think one day we will see something that is at least somewhat close to Fortnite's popularity, but what it would have to be would be something that is simple to understand for the majority of people, something that is easy to get into is what I mean. Something like Fortnite Battle Royale, for an example, is very simple. You've never seen it before, but at the end of the day, it was very simple. You jump out of a bus, you grab some weapons, you survive until the end. That's it. You want to be the last man standing. It was a very simple concept. That kind of thing is what you need. Maybe not all the time, because of course there's games like League of Legends, which is a very complex MOBA. And speaking of that, I will say if there's any game that's going to do this that is complex, it will be Deadlock. All right, that's my prediction right now. This game is from Valve, so Valve has incredibly popular games at this point, you know, CSGO, or well, CS2 now, but anyways, Dota 2, and these games all do insanely well. Now, would they be on par in terms of Fortnite popularity, millions of players? I'm not exactly sure. Maybe if they also put Deadlock on console. That's another thing, actually. Maybe not, because you kind of have to put these games, in my opinion, to get it to the point of Fortnite, you have to put these games on every platform available. It has to be free. It has to have crossplay. It has to have all of these things to really increase the availability of the game. So if they don't do that with Deadlock or any other game, I don't think it'll ever get to that point, but I do believe if a game does that, and it's a brand new concept that we've never thought of, that is actually incredibly fun, not too complex, but it's interesting enough that people want to get into it, I do think it has the potential to get to that point, and I really would love to see that next game. I would love to see it personally. I mean, there's a lot of games that have come out that are very good, but they don't get to that point where they get the mass amounts of casual players, for example, like the Finals. That's a great game right there, but it's not as popular as I thought it would have been, if we're being completely real, and I think it's because it's not as casual friendly as a game would need to be. Maybe not, actually. I don't know, but the point is, I do think it'll happen eventually. I'm gonna wrap up this video, though. It's getting too long. What do you guys think about this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. And if you guys enjoyed this video, a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new here and you like videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.